Well, hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today, because I know that there's a lack of these type of videos on YouTube for tutorials, I'm going to show you how to volume adjustment there. I'm going to show you guys how to make a sprite in Flash, CS4 most likely, or doesn't really matter just as long as you're using as2, ActionScript 2. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a walking character. So it will look something like, second, publishing. It should look something like this. And, it might not be as advanced as this. However, I will teach you guys how to make the character based off of a sprite sheet. Now, first things first, you need to go online. Sorry, Netflix there. So go online, on your slow computer, and you gotta search really any kind of character and then sprite sheet. I'm gonna go with, how about, we'll use Goku. It's probably a lot of him. And you might need to look up a bunch of different characters, because, you're not necessarily gonna find exactly what you're looking for at first. Ooh, there's a young Goku sprite sheet. Okay. You want it to be large, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, now, what the hell? Yeah, website. Okay, so, drag it onto your desktop, whether you have a Mac or a PC, it shouldn't really matter. Now, make a new document in Flash. Name it whatever you want later. Now, here's where the tricky part is. If you have to have, like, Photoshop or, Paint or whatever, it really doesn't matter. Sorry, that's from my last sprite. So, make a new document called Goku, or whatever your sprite's name is going to be. Whoops, I made a mistake. So, first, you need to go to Open. Now go to your desktop. Now find your little sprite sheet. And it doesn't really matter if it's small or big, it'll just be a little more pixelated if it's small. Okay. So then, just take it. I have to put it into a new document, or else it won't work. Yeah, 1 second. So make a new document. It should automatically adjust it to its size, but just double check that its size, height and width are the same exact thing as the original document. So, Goku, paste. Alright, and then get rid of your background. Just, like, unclick. Make it not seeable to the eye. Alright. Then what you're gonna do, doesn't matter if you zoom in a little bit, you gotta check and make sure that the magic wand is doing its stuff, but go to the magic wand tool. Just click on everything, but except for one of the characters. And then, just hit delete, or, yeah. Now, just deselect everything. Now, save that document as Goku, and make sure it's .psd. .psd is probably the best thing that you're gonna get. However, if you have, like, Paint, just save it however you need to. So long as, the background remains 0 alpha, which means that the background is still invisible. Otherwise, you'll get, like, a gray box around your character whenever they move. So just save that on your desktop or documents, wherever. So, File, Import to Stage, or library. Second thought, I probably should have chosen library. But, so go to your desktop, find it. Okay, ABC. Okay, so then import. Now make sure that background is unchecked again. Convert to flash layers, or really whatever you want to. Yeah. So yeah, then go OK, and you'll see that it should be transparent behind the sprites. If it's not, then it's not a good thing. Make sure that whenever you get the sprite sheet, it has good animations of stuff, because you're going to need those, like some type of walking sequence, which I have right here. Now, go control click, break apart. Sorry about that, I gotta quit out of that. No, quit. And so just select the part that you want. I'm gonna do a simple walking sequence. Alright, one second. Make sure that you're selecting just the right amount that you need. And then hit Control X or Apple X, depending on if you're using a Mac or a PC. So then, paste it. Go convert to symbol, which would be right click or F8 or whatever. Then I'm gonna call it, let's call it sprite. Okay, now this is why you need to make your background transparent. See, it'll still show up as a box, but then whenever you unclick it, it'll, be the same. So just select the rest and Control X or Apple X, then hit F7. Oh, I almost forgot. Before you do any of that, go convert to symbol, call it walk, or whatever your action is in that animation. Then you're going to want to Control X, F7, which creates a new blank frame, or you can go into your timeline and control click, do all that, but I think the F7 is a bit easier. And just a little tip, make sure the onion skin is on. That'll help line them up. See, I didn't have it quite lined up. For this, I'm using Goku's hair as the as the marker. You're gonna want something that stays about the same throughout the whole animation to mark. Oops. Accidentally hit F8 instead of F7. But yeah, you need something to mark how his body is moving. This stays the same. So yeah, just continue doing that. Line up. It's quite tedious of a process, but believe me, it's worth it. Okay. Just taking some time. Okay, we're almost done. Okay. Now just do a quick run through without onion skins, because at the very last frame it'll convert it back to onion skin. Just make sure that he's going up as he's running, and you don't want that, because then he'll look like he's limping. So just, you can use the greater than, less than keys without using shift to switch through frames, and just go to the first frame where he starts moving up. and just drag them down a little bit. You might want to use onion skins, but it's not completely necessary to get the right type of an effect, because you're just dragging him down. You know, you don't need to line up much. This is all part of making the sprite. Sorry about that. Okay, so he's about the same throughout the whole thing. Just let me double check here. Yep. Now you want to make sure that the first and last frames are not the same. So then go to the very last frame, which would be 8 on here. And now, no, I'm sorry. If you were making any other action besides walk, like if you were making an attack motion, you would want to put go to the very last frame of your animation and type stop, which we'll get to later. However, since he's walking, it's gonna loop and repeat over itself. Don't hit stop, so it won't really matter much. Now make sure, hit Q, and see, make sure that that little white dot is right over there. That'll help center him up whenever you have to transform him later. Alright, now take this first frame and drag it there, and I'll show you why. Actually, it won't really matter that much that you can't see him, because you can just go to your library and click him. Anyways, so go back to the Goku thing. It should be in your library, which is right, it looks like a bunch of books. So take your layer 1 from your animation thing and find a sequence where he's just standing. You know, he just looks like he's standing. Doesn't need to be animated. And it doesn't seem to be one of him standing. Okay, I think this is about as good as we're gonna get right there. Yeah, some sprite sheets are a little weird. They don't have certain actions sometimes. So sometimes you need to improvise. Like take this walk cycle and just take a little snippet from it. Okay, now delete everything on there. Now go back to your library, go to sprite, or whatever you call your little walk sequence. Now go in there, and if you go to the second frame, you should see your walking sequence. If you click in there, hit enter, it'll start playing. So go to your first frame, and do this. Now hit onion skins again, just to make sure that everything, see, it's not lined up. You have to make sure that everything's lined up. And yep, it's lined up, even in animation. Okay, and then you have your first little switch between standing still and walking. Now, save it, just to double check, you gotta save all the time. So save it as, I'm gonna save mine as sprite 3, because this is my third. But, you know, I still know how to do it. And, yeah. So now, go back into your sprite, go to the second frame, or whatever the last frame of it is going to be right now, and hit F7 again. Now go back, go to your walk sequence, copy it. Whoops, I accidentally just double clicked out of there. Okay, now go to the blank frame, which should be the third frame, because we did that by hitting F7. Now paste your walk sequence. Now, this is basically going to be the same thing as the last frame, you know? Oops, it's not quite lined up. It's going to walk to the right, but eventually, you want it to walk to the left. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. So, go to Modify, Transform, Flip Horizontal. Oops, for some reason I didn't quite do it. There we go. Now what that'll do is it'll make the walk sequence go backwards. Just double checking here. Yep, he's going backwards in the walk sequence. Alright, so then we need to get a basic action script. Now, I'm the type of person who writes a coding once and then copies it and pastes it into the next one. I know that it's not quite ethical, but you know, I do it. So I'm gonna paste this in my description, and but yeah, the first thing that you want to do though, go to your first frame. Alright, just make sure that nothing down here is selected, and then copy the paste that I have for first frame. Looks like this. Right into the first frame. Okay, now you're probably gonna have an extra layer just, you know, with that, because of the, you know, spreadsheet. Alright, and, then what you're gonna want to do, go and take the, now, your action script might change based on, what your actions are every frame. But, you really don't need the onClipEvent loaded thing. That's just for sounds. And, so, like, if you punch, a punch will sound. And you also need to name your sounds, and that's a whole other ballgame. So, just go and do onClipEvent load. You don't need the hit test thing, so onClipEvent. So make sure your little guy is selected. onClipEvent load. Or actually, it's keyDown. I'm sorry, it's keyDown. onClipEvent, in parentheses, keyDown. If key is down, we're gonna just scroll down a little bit. Alright, if key is down, Key.RIGHT. Okay, we're gonna edit this a little bit. But the Flash is having a seizure. Alright, so if key is down, key in parentheses right, this GoToAndStop 2. And then you're also going to want to put, you know, this x equals. Alright, but you're going to not need this part. This is for if you're hitting a wall, which we'll get into later. Alright, and so I'm just going to get rid of the spaces. I used a different style of action scripting there because I just started it one way and kept it going that way. Alright, so if key is down, Key.RIGHT, GoToAndStop, this GoToAndStop 2, that means that go to the walk sequence, the first one in this object. Then if key is down, I gotta change this to 3 because I had a running sequence in the last one, so it was on a different frame. So there you go. That's the basic gist of what you're gonna have. And if I am correct, whoops, it should run left and right. If not, then that's a problem. Whoops. Yep. And I almost forgot. Go to the first frame of your animation and hit stop. With 2 parentheses afterwards. And then, I gotta double check that, yep, I didn't close it. One thing about action scripting, it needs to be completely correct. Alright, yep, and he runs right, and he runs left. And I almost forgot this. Afterwards, after all of that, past everything, you're going to want onClipEvent key.UP, so whenever the key is released, then you're going to want to go back to the first frame so that he's standing still and not walking. So right after the last parenthesis, should be around the 11th line, depending. Okay, so if key is up, then make him stand still. So now he walks right, he walks left. Now the one thing is, he will flip around after you're done walking left, but that really doesn't matter too much right now. But yeah, now if you want him to be a little bigger on the screen, just go to the Q tool, press Q on your keyboard and then Shift, then you can drag him in and out and it'll stay the exact same scale, or the exact same size, width, and height, but the scale will grow. Alright, and then we're gonna make a little jumping and sliding sequence. Now, for jumping, you're gonna want to move up. However, with this flash animation, you won't also move down. So basically, if you're jumping, you're just going to keep on moving up because there's no gravity to pull him back down. Anyways, so go back to your little sprite sheet. 1 second. Sprite library. And find the little jumping sequence. It doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, I'm going to use a roll jumping sequence. Oops. Make sure it's broken apart. Then just Control exit. Go to your last frame. Hit F7. That creates a new frame, blank. Alright, then just paste that. Now it should be the same size as all the other ones, because it automatically adjusts it, but if it's not, you might need to adjust it. Just make sure it's around the same spot. And if your jumping sequence doesn't loop, like in this one he's going to continue rolling and rolling and rolling, but if they're just jumping straight up and down, like in this one, you're not going to want to put stop at the end, or you're going to want to put stop at the end. Like for example, in this sprite, which I made last time, whenever he's about to jump, he just jumps. You know, that's all there is to it. Now, in this one, he's going to roll and roll and roll. So, as you can see, in the last frame of this animation, I have stop. So, I will show you what I mean whenever we get into the attacks. Okay, I almost forgot. I always forget to do this. Hit F8 and then create a new symbol, call it jump. This video is probably going to be broken up in both in one part. Alright, just continue the same exact thing that you did last time. I forgot I need skins. Oops, forgot to. Again, it's a little bit tedious, but it's worth it. Now, you might find a little extra on the edge, just trim that off. There's a little bit over here too. Not much. But yeah, you want that if you're going to make it into an actual game, so that the boundaries on him, whenever he hits a wall, he won't stop right there, and then he'll be like that far from a wall and he'll be stopping. Alright, and then, let's see, what frame was that? Okay, so in the 4th frame, say it right there, we're going to put in a new code. Alright, so if key is down, oops, just copy one of these things. So if key is down, key, key, and then you're gonna do caps lock, or really as long as it's capital. Whoops, I already had caps lock. This this.gotoAndStop, change that to 4. Now, the one difference that you're gonna have here is you're gonna change this to Y. Make sure that it's, oops, not capital, and also make sure that it's negative equals 10. Or really whatever number you want to use. Okay. So then, if you go to there, you'll be able to jump up, but you won't be able to go back down, and that's a bit of a problem. So to solve this problem, go back here, and just get one that looks like he's sliding down. Okay, this one's actually pretty good. Break apart. And also, you don't need to delete it on every single frame. What the heck? Not very good. Selecting in that direction. Where? Oh. Let's just move it over a little bit, I guess. Okay. Now, there might be a point in time where you get a little bit of the other action on the right or left side. Just trim that off. And then, you know, take it again. Okay. Now go to, your last frame. Hit F7. And make sure, whoops, make sure that it's nice and lined up with onion skins. And take your, I'm going to have to rotate mine a little bit. Take your sliding down sequence, and hopefully it's just one frame, but if not, you know, convert it to a symbol, then animate it, just like we did for the last ones. Alright, now select your little guy. If key is down, now just copy another one of those. If key is down, key dot. Now this is where it gets a little confusing, because if key is down, well, the key is also called down. Oops. Make sure it's all caps. Root, go to, and play 5, or whatever your jump animation frame is. This Y plus equals 10, because plus means down and Y. Oops. Okay. So now you have a basic, sprite animation. You might want to speed things up and slow things down. in terms of how fast he's moving. Like, I'm gonna want him moving at around a rate of 30 with this size of a character for going up and down, and about 20 for going just, sideways. And there you go. You have your basic little animation. Now he will freeze up right at the beginning of the animation scheme, so you have to hold it down. But it really won't matter that much, because as long as you hold the key down, he'll move. So yeah, that's how you make a little sprite animated character for your game. And if you add another action like an attack, just use what keys you want to use for the attack. Now, the one thing about using keys on the keyboard versus keys that are special, like the up arrow and that, you're going to want to Google ASCII, okay? Doesn't matter if it's caps or not. And go to an ASCII character coding. Now, let's say that you want to use the A key as your left attack, WASD. Now, the one problem with using the A key is if you type in on here, if key is down, key.A, it won't recognize it. So what you have to do is, if key is down, I'll make a basic attack, and make sure that your key that you're using is the capital version. Not this, it's the capital letter. And then go over to the number. I'm going to use D for my right attack. And 68, okay? So instead of typing in key.68, what you're going to do is you're just going to select key everything, and then just type 68. And then go to and stop. Dot, 5. Whatever. 6. It has to be whatever your action frame will be. I'm just copying it and pasting it, not getting rid of it, because I like to keep my action script in order. And then get rid of the this X part. Whoops. So this is semicolon, or this Y, depending on which one you copy. So if key is down, key.68, which is D, then go and play 6 on the animation frames. Alright, now hit another keyframe, and go here, break apart, okay, I'm going to use a simple punch, cut, okay, now go to that frame, convert the symbol, let's call it punch, delicious, alright, and make sure it's all nice and lined up with onion skins. Oh, that's kind of messed up. Alright. So let me make sure that his feet are on... Nope, they're not. So I had to make sure that his feet were at the same part. Okay. Go in here. And just repeat the same old process. Same old, same old. Oops, I almost forgot. Onion skins. Okay, now the difference with this one is that as he's attacking, he's also going to move. So just, you know, so make him move a little bit. By dragging him over bit by bit. Now, with that, just make sure that every single time he stops, you have him stop and turn or whatever he's doing. Oops. Almost done. Okay. Now go back into the punch thing, because he's just moving, you know, that way. However, he's not going to go back. So what you have to do is just take one of the frames that looks like he's just standing still and copy it. Go to the final frame, hit F7, and this can be faster. Like, it doesn't need to move taperedly slow. Alright, 7. Now, make sure that it's relatively lined up. And it's not. That was way too high up. Way too high up. Bit too high up. And finally, alright, and so then if you press the D key, second, he's going to punch. Now, do you see what I mean about saying that you have to, so you'll keep on punching and keep on punching. Now, you don't want that to happen, because, you know, you only want him to attack once. So what you're going to do, go to the final frame, take off onion skins if you want, and just hit stop. And what that does is, once he's done attacking, see that, he'll stop. And he'll just stay there at the final frame. And, yeah, so if you want to, you know, make him have a left attack, you know, you want it to be A instead of D or whatever key you're using, then go to the A, make sure it's capital letter, and A is 65, and I'm not going to do this for you, but, you know, go in here, do the, if key is down, key.68, and, you know, just copy it, paste it, make sure that this is 65, and that is whatever your left attack frame is, and then you'll have all your attacks, and you can have as many attacks as you want, so long as they're just ASCII. Make sure that, by the way, ASCII is spelled with 2 I's. ASCII. And yeah, that's all you really need to know for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get a lot out of the experience. And eventually you're going to get somebody who can do a bunch of stuff. Like, I also made it so that you can hold down the space bar and hit run. A bunch of other stuff like that. So, yeah, have a nice day. Thank you for watching.